UFC 316 is round the corner, so we're going to have a little quick chat about that. Tom Aspinall's come out and said he wants to fight twice before the end of the year. UFC is heading back to Paris in September. UFC Noche is no longer a pay-per-view, and will John Jones retire? People, I'm here with the two legends, Luke Tanner and Jamie Phillips. Come back, catch up live. Let's get into it. Yes, lovely people. Hope you're well and welcome back to the Sanderson Show, joined by Jamie Phillips and Luke Tanner for a very fun packed show. Guys, how are you guys doing today?
Not bad.
I'm feeling great.
Decent. Life's decent at the moment, isn't it, guys? Like,
I've had a bum bleaching.
I'm just going with the flow.
So did my bleaching.
Insane. All right. Look, we've got some stuff to talk about today. Jay, I'm going to pick up where we left off with before we even went live. We started speaking about this. UFC Noche. Tell us why you're so upset and so disappointed in UFC, bro.
This company is a shit. Like, obviously, it's a big Mexican show they do. They did it last time. Was it in the Sphere they did it? In Vegas? Yes. Made it a great show. On the eyes, it was an amazing visual, good fights. And we're looking forward to it again. And what did they decide? What's this company decide to do? Because Dana White's co-promoting, like he tells you he's promoting, he's co-promoting the Crawford fight with Canelo Alvarez on the same night. So what do they do? What does Dana do to his actual company? He makes a big show with a bit of a story behind it, a bit of a gimmick behind it, a bit of a intrigue behind it. Decides to make it a fight night. A fight night. A fight night. It's just, so what that's going to mean is you're going to get less fight equality because he isn't going to pay for pay-per-view standard fights for a TV show, a fight night show, because obviously fighters want pay-per-view points, they want pay-per-view purses, stuff like that. So, so we're going to get some shit fights on a card that should be a pay-per-view, and Mexican and Latino fighters are pretty much getting screwed. So, and if he does make the main event, what was meant to be, what we all thought would be in that show as a fight night, then guys are just getting paid far less money than they should be, which is a disgrace because he's co-promoting a boxing fight that he shouldn't be anywhere near.
Luke, you wanted to chime in there, bro? What you got to say?
Well, it doesn't surprise me, does it? When this got announced, I was like, how's that supposed to work? Isn't he supposed to be co-promoting this? And shortly afterwards, he gets cut from the co-promotion.
Yeah.
It was now a Riyadh season event. So what does Dana do? Take out his anger on his actual company, the one that he's supposed to still give two hoots about.
The one he used to love.
That he used to love. And it's just decided to, do a fight night. Not put on the fights like the real fights we want to see, like should have been potentially headline or co-headline Diego Lopez versus Yair Rodriguez. It was literally, slam dunk fight, the setups there, the stories there. But no, of course not, because when it's the easy decision, the UFC go, no, I don't think I will.
Were you going to say something, Joe?
Jay?
Is he frozen?
No, man.
Oh,
Sorry. I just had an email. I had to quickly read. Apologies.
that's all right.
No, Dana's a bitch.
That's a J man, though.
It's as simple as that. I just.
You've had
So I've got massively in for the last week or so. I'll let you guys know this now. For the massive last week or so, I've been getting into old school UFC. I've been watching like a lot of pay-per-views. I've been watching. So I started from UFC 66, and I'm up to UFC 170. And I've been watching like not all of them in their full entirety, like best matches and them cards and all that. And I was sitting there watching it, and I'm like watching it, I'm going, the fucking star power that used to be on these cards, man. You know, the star power. And then I've been going back and I don't know why. I don't know if you see it in your YouTube algorithms, but someone keeps uploading the best of toughs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like 3-4 hours long. I've been watching the original ones of them, and seeing like the original ones of them, like the first 10 seasons, superb stuff. The fighters that came out of there, the stories that came out of there, and went into the shows itself and the pay-per-views, and you make stories. I was watching. What was it? It was Carwin versus was it Carwin Overeem? Shane Carwin Overeem?
Yeah.
The heavyweight match when
No, I don't think they fought actually.
I can't remember who was it. Who
Was
was
it
it?
Colin Brock?
No, it was Carwin and somebody. Frank Mir. Carwin and Frank Mir.
Oh, okay.
When he uppercut the shit out of him about 10 times in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm watching that, and I went back and looked at the heavyweight the rankings like for the heavyweights at that time. It was who's who.
Yeah.
Lightweights, welterweights. I was like, what has happened to this company? Because the product now looks worse than it did 10 years ago. In fact, 10 years ago, the commentary's better, the lighting's better, the arenas look better.
It should be better, Jay.
The fighters look better.
It should be better.
And it should, yeah.
Considering the sports science, the technology, the tech in production, like the company should be as hot as it's ever been, but you know they have massively dropped the ball, and because one, there's no competition. There's no competition for the UFC because we thought PFL and Bellator would have provided some competition, but oh my days, we're criticizing the UFC for dropping the ball. Oh my days, they've dropped the ball several times with the PFL and Bellator. That whole merger has flopped massively. So there's no competition, and they know that there's fans that will turn up and pay stupid amounts to watch the fights.
I agree. I totally agree, Luke. And the other stuff as well, I just miss, So when I was watching the old school pay-per-views, I was watching what pay-per-view was it? Can't quite remember what pay-per-view it was now. It was UFC 120 something. I can't remember the fight. But on it, you had like Shane Carwin and stuff like that, I believe, on this card, And before their fight, they would give you a 2 or 3 minute backstory how we got here.
Yeah.
Right. And you'd learn a lot about, like, they go back and Shane Carwin talks about himself, his upbringing, where he come from and all that. And in 3 minutes, I know the fighter.
Yeah.
So if I'm new to this show, if I'm new to UFC, I know the fighter. I'm like,
oh, Jay, what I've been saying they need to do something around the other fighters. I'm going to play a little game. Luke, you might know this because I know you're probably prepping or have prepped. Up on UFC 316, Jay, can you name the other 3 fights apart from the main and co-main?
So we obviously know the main and co-main, but I think it is. Oh,
do you know, Luke? Actually, I'll ask you as well, Luke. Do you guys know?
It's the Gastelum versus
what, Piper?
Piper.
That's one.
That's the only other fight I know on there, and that's because Gastelum's quite a big name. I'm not even going to look. I'm not even going to look at that.
I'm not even going to look, man.
I should know. This is our job. We should know. You know what I mean?
Forget about it being our job. We're fans first and foremost.
Yeah.
Guys, right now, Sugar Sean O'Malley is seen as one of the best and biggest stars in the company, right?
Jesus, yeah.
How many times have you seen the UFC advertised on TNT
Oh,
Sport?
I've
Or
just seen the other
Yeah.
fights on the card, and I can't believe I missed out Vicente Luque, Kevin Holland, Mario Batista versus the debuting Patrice Mix.
It's because they don't advertise them. They just
Bro.
put a card together.
Kevin Holland and Vicente Luque. I'm not saying either of them are going to be champions. Bloody,
Banger.
if you can't build a story out of that fight,
It's got to be a stand-up battle, man. You just got to smash
Kevin,
each other.
That main
you
card
can
is
tell
pretty
Kevin
good.
Holland's story.
I have to
Luque had
say.
a bleed on his brain and to come back and still fighting at the top of the division.
But they don't.
No promotion about it.
Kel, they put a card together. So what he does now, he goes live on Instagram Live.
For
What
1 minute.
promoter goes Instagram Live to promote
He
a show?
goes, "What's up, guys?" And
Yeah.
thinking, shut the fuck up.
Gives you the card. Goes, right, guys, I've got something special for you. I know you can't wait for it, and gives us this shit card. And then that's the last you hear of it. You literally don't hear anything about the card till fight week.
Here's
Now,
the thing.
fight week, you don't hear. You only hear. Look, to be fair, it's fight week, yeah. Unless you go on UFC's website every day,
There's nothing.
there's nothing.
See,
No
I don't think
promotion.
it's a crap card, Jay, but the promotion of the card is horrific.
Which makes it crap, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because there's
That's
no
the thing.
stories. We
Yeah.
don't know what's done. Like Kevin Holland, you could have used footage from the last fight against the Ridder, and he goes, "Well, you know, that was at 85. I'm back at 70 now." Luque, talk about the fact that he had a bleed in the brain. Joe Pyfer had a gruesome injury, comes back and registers the hardest punch in human history or something like that. Make a story there. Kelvin Gastelum, the guy that could have stopped Israel Adesanya's legacy before it began. He should be at 70, but he's at 85. He's a smaller man still fighting all these killers. You've got flipping, what's the other fight? Look at this. What's the other fight now?
Mario Batista versus
Mario
Patrice.
Batista. Everyone thinks he's the villain because he fought and beat Jose Aldo. Patchy Mix, a 3-time champion from another organization. I understand Countdown is mainly for the main and co-main event, but you can't tell me and you keep the embedded still, because I'm good with embedded, but add another show for the rest of the fighters.
Hey, you have so much social media, right? Like
Hey,
we
what's
live in.
Nina doing? Oh, what's Nina doing? Come on, don't use Nina. Don't use Nina so badly.
Big
Don't
MMA guru
these unknown fighters, or why? Are they not big enough for you?
No, they'll only use Nina because Nina now works for UFC, don't she? So that's the only way the reason they use her. But you know, the social media is so big. Most grown adults probably have some kind of social media account, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Yeah. How you can't promote fights more with social media in this day and age, and just put like they could just you know what YouTube could do? Do you know what they could do for YouTube? They could go, you know what? With the shorts, because a lot of people, especially youngsters, watching YouTube shorts, don't they? It's a lot of. I think more people actually watch YouTube shorts than actual YouTube videos and all.
Yeah.
Right. What UFC could do is go, right, every fight on this card, in that 1 minute short, will give you a little detail about the fighter. So as you're scrolling down, you go past every single fighter in that card for 1 minute on each short, and it gives you a little background on them for 1 minute.
This is
better than nothing, isn't it?
This is like a wild shout. It's in the partnership with WWE. Pay-per-view's 316. Why can't you go a bit of Stone Cold? Bit of Stone Cold promotion, bit of 316.
Dana hates all that, though, don't he? He doesn't like all that. He doesn't like, because Pride did it, yeah? If anyone's ever watched Pride,
Oh, their walkouts and everything.
Their walkouts.
Even PFL and Bellator, their walkouts about.
But Dana don't think he needs that. Dana thinks it's just about coming out of an underground tunnel to nothing, getting in the ring and fighting.
Like when was the last time, guys, that we watched an event and gone, fuck me, that's full? We're going, well, empty there.
Not in a long time.
AJ Dubois. In
terms
of MMA.
Yeah, I mean like MMA.
Yeah, not off the top of my head.
300 maybe?
Do you know the fact?
Yeah, sure, 300 is crazy.
Do you know the fact that Dana White and co have been in charge of UFC since UFC 32, I believe, right? And we've never had a stadium show.
It's bad.
Do you know how mad that is? Because he doesn't like stadium shows.
He's so stuck in his way. I keep on saying this. I don't think the UFC gets back to where it was until he goes.
I just think how good UFC used to be. Also, I think there's a thing with fighters today as well. I don't think this is all UFC as well. I don't think there's many killers. I say killers in terms of fighting for you.
Yeah.
Ruined everything. Like there was back then either. I think we've got a lot of softer fighters now.
I think trash talking back in the day was more believable. When I see some of these fighters trash talk, I'm like, I don't believe this.
Yeah, same. Paddy. Let's say, for example, it was Paddy versus Tapora. There'd be loads of trash talk. There would be, but that'd be genuine trash talk.
Yeah.
Now it's just you get people like Colby Covington manufactured. You get so many people are just manufactured, and you're watching it and you're just going.
Well, as Colin would say, everyone wants to dress like me. Everyone wants to talk like me, be like me. Because everyone wants to get the lightning in the bottle, the Conor McGregor moment.
But it's because Dana just kept on giving and giving and giving to Conor. So everyone's thinking, oh, that's the formula. That must be the formula. Not realizing, and Dana not realizing by doing that, he's created a whole new breed of fighters who are trying to be something that they're not, rather than themselves. Vanderlei Silva, Jamie, how many words did Vanderlei Silva say in English?
Oh, dear, he didn't need to talk, to be fair.
Didn't need to talk. What does Alex Pereira say?
Sharma.
One word. And he's the most popular guy in the UFC because he's himself, unapologetically himself.
But also, these guys you're mentioning, Cal, they're killers in the ring.
Yeah.
They're legit. Like, I'm not saying that.
Right. Chael wasn't, though, Jay. Chael wasn't, but the only reason I think that what helped Chael's son to get over as much as he did was his rivalry with Anderson Silva. Yeah. And
Anderson Silva was so good in the octagon that everyone was very intrigued to see Chael Sonnen and get his ass kicked. So, Chael Sonnen's one of the brightest fighters of all time.
Yeah.
The man knows what he's doing. And, when you listen to him, the man never tells the truth, which is just hilarious.
He'll tell you straight as well. I'm not lying.
But he does it on purpose. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to he's building intrigue, which is what I want, man. Build intrigue, man. I mean, we got a rematch for the title in the main event, and it's like these two are best friends and used to go to school together. There's no animosity there. There's no story there.
In the jacuzzi together, like this rivalry is unbelievable.
It's like, why are we staying up till 7 a.m. Saturday to watch this fight? Apart from being hardcores, why are we? What? Where's the intrigue? Why do I want to see this rematch? I saw O'Malley got destroyed. Why do I want to see this rematch? O'Malley's not coming back with anything.
Well, apparently he was injured in that fight and all that. But again, even that, if you're one of the other fighters and you see, O'Malley loses, goes away, has surgery, then comes back straight into a fight only after having only one successful title defense, are you not sitting there going, "What the hell? Like, how the hell is this happening?"
Yeah.
Once again, makes up the rules as he goes along.
And this is why I don't blame a certain fighter that I'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah. Sorry,
I've come full circle.
Yeah, facts. All right, look, we're not going to go deep into 316 because we've got a preview show with you, Luke, tomorrow.
Oh, it's 316, ain't it? You're right, Luke.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin should introduce UFC 316.
Give me a hell yeah. What?
He should be. They should just do a video package.
They could have co-promoted it with one of Steve Austin's beers.
Because you could do it on Raw and SmackDown and go, make sure. You can do it on SmackDown and go, make sure you tune into UFC on Saturday.
And get Stone Cold with the
Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to introduce UFC 316 and all that. Same company, man.
You could get Stone
him
Cold
to introduce one of the fights. I tell Bruce.
Yeah.
Relax.
Even if they didn't do that, imagine that the arena's packed. They play the music for the start of the pay-per-view, and then you just hear the glass shatter.
The problem is it get the biggest pop of the night.
I know he would. I know. But how gassed as a fan would you be if that's the way the show kicks off? He just walks into the octagon, he salutes all the fans, he He does a 1-minute promo.
And he just
Just
introduces
says
you
something
everyone
along
to
Yeah.
UFC 316.
Does it for
you
the
know?
main card, or does it for the main?
And
like,
then
main event?
and then the
UFC
lights
316
and then the lights
Aspinall.
go off, and then the lights go off, and they run to VT and introduce the matches, and you come back. That's how you do it.
It's
But
so
Dana don't-
easy.
But Dana don't like theatre.
It's so easy.
He doesn't like theatre, man. He
Look
doesn't
how
like
easy it was just to plan.
That's so easy.
that
And
together.
Stone Cold's a UFC fan as well.
Yeah, you just give Steve a cool million to just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm saying.
Dana can just gamble that all back anyway.
Exactly.
Oh,
I mean, do you know how pumped people want to watch to start the show?
I'd be like,
Yeah.
shit, who's they gonna get for next month?
Because even if you're not a wrestling fan, everyone knows who he is. You know what I
everyone
mean?
knows Stone
You
Cold.
don't want to do that, but yeah, again, you can have Donald Trump show up for every event.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just company, man.
Dana, great guy. Dana, great guy. Great guy. Free tickets.
They're killing themselves from the inside. And they don't even realize it yet. It's a shame.
Yeah.
It really is. Speaking of another fight you were going to mention, Jay, Tom Aspinall's come out saying he wants to fight twice in 2025.
Don't
Still
need
no
to.
news about John Jones.
Living his best life. He's too busy touching what? Touching people off the island.
He's doing the madness. Jay, I asked you and Luke this question about 5 months ago. And I'll ask you again. Does Tom Aspinall and John Jones fight each other?
Yeah, I think they fight in November. Right, I listened to that video John Jones put out. It was the other day when he was actually being, I believe him real self when he was talking calmly. I believe now this is all down to UFC, because even Tom Aspinall's come out and said we can't tell you when the fight's are. It's down to the company.
So
And
one sec, guys.
I think what John's been doing, he's trolling the world, because that's what John's great at. He's been trolling the world, but at the end of the day, he works for a company. It's up to the company. Now, if he wants to tour the world and live his best life, he's free to do so. But the company should either tell him, you go fight. If you're not going to fight, you go strip. Right? So, yes, John takes some blame with this. Of course he does. But I actually think 70% of the blame's got to go to UFC.
I think the longer it's going along. Look, I do believe at the beginning of the whole saga, I do reckon it was more of a Jones thing. I reckon he said, "Give me some fuck you money," thinking,
Yeah, I agree.
Basically, an easy way to sort of retire because the UFC ain't going to give me fuck you money.
Exactly.
I reckon that they've gone, you know what? Let's call his bluff. Let's put down the number that he's been wanted. And he's gone, oh, shit. All right. Well, it looks like we're about to do the dance. But if I win this, I either want to retire or give me Alex Pereira. And the UFC's gone, all right. If you take this, fine. I said, okay, we'll announce it when we're ready. And they've just gone like this, just twiddling the thumbs, waiting for this new TV deal.
Yeah. When does the TV deal go through?
No idea. It's soon, though. It must be soon.
Because I reckon if the first, because it is this year, ain't it? So
yeah.
Look, it could be that the first UFC show on Netflix is the November card in Madison Square Garden. That could be a possibility.
Do you know what? I've
Might
not
be
thought of it like that, actually.
That might be what UFC are doing. That's why they're not letting anything out at the moment. So it's frustrating for us, but they got to keep it secret.
It's pretty much planned.
If that was the case, though, and you could be absolutely spot on, both of you. If that is the case, wouldn't you let Aspinall know that, though?
He might know.
I reckon he's part of it. I reckon that he probably.
But I don't think Aspinall would react like how
they sign NDAs, though, don't they?
Yeah, I reckon that this is most. I do think at the beginning, Callum, I don't know whether or not you caught what I said. I reckon at the beginning, afterwards, when John goes, "I'm fighting, but I want fuck you money." I reckon he said that as his basic way of saying, "I'm done."
Ariel Helwani said he was offered that and still didn't play ball.
I reckon he's called the UFC's bluff and the UFC's delivered, and he's gone shit. All right then, let's rock and roll. But I want some guarantees. If I win, either fight Pereira or let me just retire and I'll drop the belt, because there's nothing more. Like, if Jones beat Aspinall, there's nothing for him to do. There's no one left to fight. He can
It's the worst. It's
retire.
the worst thing that can happen. To be fair,
Yeah,
It's
and it's
the
a
worst
very
thing.
real thing that could happen as well.
Yeah, I just, I think I'm going more of the lines now that I blame in UFC a little bit more than John right now, because at the end of the day, John's just an employee of the company. If this company want to take the belt off him, they can easily take the belt off him. You know, I've seen some people coming out now and saying, like, who was it, saying that John's gay and you know, he's always been that. I think
MMA guru.
MMA
MMA guru, wasn't it? And DC's always gone that way as well, saying he thinks he's. I don't know why it matters being homosexual, by the way, or what your sexual orientation is. I don't know why that matters, why it gets brought up, but.
Well, it's a way of trying to degrade him, isn't it? Because you're basically saying, if you are gay, why don't you come out and say it? And then it's in 2025.
But if he's the toughest gay man in the world, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Ain't no one doing anything to him. So like,
no one cares in 2025.
That's my thing. It's like, what's the point of even? We know why people do it for clickbait, innit? Like,
yeah, we got grown adults who think they're a cat. Do you know what I mean? Well, what's it? It's 2025, man.
Yeah, we generally don't care.
I think it's the company. I think UFC are trying to keep things quiet because
I think
they know. Yeah, I think they know this is their biggest fight they can make in their new era.
They've already ballsed up the other big fight they could have made. But we digress.
Exactly. I hope it happens. I just got this feeling it's going to happen at Madison Square Garden. Considering we've got a lot of named fights or a lot of named cards up to a certain point, and it's sort of like stopped after that, and there's still no Jones and Aspinall.
Just have a look to see how far that they've got. It's got UFC 16.
Right, I'm gonna pivot into something else really quickly, and then we'll come
18. Just checking 19.
UFC are going Paris. UFC are going Paris in September.
Yeah, I know.
Aspinall said he wants to fight twice. You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yeah. Should be the
Is
fight.
it possible?
I want to see that fight.
Do you want to see that before Jones, though?
It's a dangerous fight for him to take before Jones.
It's a big risk. It's a big risk.
But the problem is, Aspinall can't keep sitting on the shelf. Aspinall sat on the shelf for a long time with injury.
Yeah, how long's he been out now? A year?
Well, how long's he been out between that and the injury and in between?
About 2 years. No, 3 years.
Has he been out longer
2022
than he has been fighting the last few years?
He's fought like three times since he's got injured.
Yeah,
but they've been for like the time of like a minute and a half.
Yeah, the man needs to fight.
2 minutes. Like,
the man needs to fight. Cyril Gane is the only other fighter in the heavyweight division that he probably takes right now, because
again, Cyril doesn't even deserve that because he lost to Volkov.
But it's an interesting fight in the fact that they've never fought yet, and Cyril is a dangerous guy. Because at the end of the day, Cyril's a kickboxer. I mean, if Cyril catches Tom, it could be over.
Yeah.
So it is a dangerous, extremely dangerous fight for Tom to take. But I don't think Tom just wants John Jones. He just wants to be heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
So
plus they're even promoting it now. I'm the undisputed champ. The UFC's promoting. I'm the undisputed champ. Champ wants to defend.
Well, he's the only one defending titles, isn't he, to be fair?
Yeah.
Tom's got to fight, man. I just don't know if he can fight twice this year. I don't know when he fights, so I don't think there's enough time for him to fight twice this year.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like
unless he fights in Paris against Gane, then.
But even September and then the November fight, and then the November fight is John Jones.
He'd have to
fight in July.
Yeah, unless he beats Cyril quite clean in September, like in a couple of minutes, hardly gets touched.
It'll never happen. It would never happen. He will get touched in that fight.
Yeah,
and he'll get tested as well.
This is why it's down to UFC now, because they're putting everything. It's them who's stopping everything moving. I've got a feeling though, because this Netflix deal they They got something big they want. Netflix will want a massive show to kick it off. And like I think with WWE, it's Royal Rumble, wasn't it? So, you know, it was Royal Rumble was the first. It was the Raw, then the Rumble. You know, and they made a big deal of it. Yeah, they made a big deal about it. You know, it was heavily promoted.
Maybe
It was
the fights
everywhere.
make it paid more, but sorry, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
I just maybe it is that. Maybe it's the fact that they're holding it back and they've already got it booked. I don't know. And they can't tell the fighters yet in case it gets out. Maybe.
But as you just said, though, Jay, if you make them sign NDAs, because John's already come out and said, yeah, the UFC, they know what my plan is. They're just not telling you guys.
Yeah, I believe him. I believe him with that.
Every time Tom speaks about it, he's like, I haven't been told anything and I want to fight.
Yeah.
So they can't be just surely they can't just be communicating with John and not Tom. Like, that's crazy. If that's happening, that's crazy because that's disrespect to Tom, surely.
Hey, does anything surprise you in this game when Dana's at the wheel? Does anything surprise you? Because that wouldn't surprise you one bit.
Not much surprising me. That does surprise me, though, that you're not going to keep Tom up to date with stuff. Because especially if they're having a fight, Tom needs to know whether to ramp up his training a little bit, who he's got to prepare for. If he's just keeping Jones in the loop, then that's terrible. That's literally Vince McMahon and Triple H versus Stone Cold, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it makes no sense, does it? It makes no sense. So I don't know what's happening. You know,
do you know what Tom needs to do? Do you know what Tom needs to do? He needs to threaten to fly out to Thailand. Say, yo, Jones, if you don't, if you're not fight in the octagon, I'll come to you in Thailand. We can scrap right there.
I don't think there's anything Tom can do to Jones that will force him to fight.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, tell him that he'll rock up to a cinema in Thailand. His seminar in Thailand.
And then Tom will just be John will just be spiteful and be like, "I'm not giving you a fight now." Remember, I don't think Jones actively wants his fight.
Hey, just take his soul.
No, but here's the thing, Luke. I don't think Jones actively wants that fight. I think he'll take the fight if he gets great money, but I don't think he's chasing that fight.
Yeah, I think John's just living his best, literally living his life right now.
But here's the thing: if Alex Pereira being Ankalaev and Alex Pereira and John Jones doing the green light,
guarantee that fight just goes next light.
That fight would have happened by now.
I think we're either going to get Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall for the vacant heavyweight title, or we're going to get Tom versus John sometime this year. They're the only two fights I can see happening.
I think it's going to be Aspinall and Cyril Gane.
Yeah. Because Cyril's going to need a fight as well, man. Like, this is the other thing. We're just thinking about John and Tom because they're the top of the list. But everyone below them needs fights. Their fights are stopped. Their fights are stopped.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what's happening. Yeah.
I think, isn't Blades fighting soon? Blades is fighting soon. Yeah. Spivak's fighting soon. So Spivak's fighting Waldo Acosta this weekend. Obviously, you've got
Taliesin versus Lewis on the 20.
These are such bad fighters, man.
That's the fight for Lewis is a horrible fight for him, by the way.
These are such bad fights. I think Shane Carwin would be heavyweight champion there in this division of UFC.
I don't think he beats Tom.
Maybe not Tom, but I think
I have to say, apart from Jones and Tom, this division's washed.
It's terrible. Volkov's okay.
Volkov's all right.
I don't think Volkov.
This division is washed. No wonder Jones waited until all the heavyweights in their prime decided to retire.
Ngannou.
This division's cooked. This is supposed to be the UFC's premier division. The heavyweight champion, the baddest man on the planet. And you can't even arrange a quality title fight.
It's where we needed Ngannou still in the company.
I'm just going to say, you've kind of, ever since Ngannou left, the title's been delegitimized. Like,
because even without the title at stake,
petty.
Yeah, even without the title at stake, you could still have good fights because you could do Aspinall and Ngannou. We wouldn't want to, that don't always need a title. Do you know what I mean? I'd watch that every day.
There's an argument to say Ngannou still is the best heavyweight in the world.
Yeah, or
Never
you
got
can be
beaten.
stupid like the PFL and just announce PFL Africa and don't have Ngannou on the
Yeah,
card.
don't even get me started. Do you think there's a chance? I know
I
this is
think
going on
Ngannou regrets his decision.
PFL's not really pulling up any trees of any sort. Is there a chance, and
No.
we've seen it in business, that
No.
Ngannou could go back to UFC for a
No.
3-fight deal?
No.
No, not now. He made his
You
bed.
think
mate.
Dana left. If Dana left, then I'd be willing to have that conversation.
The problem is he's got to buy him out of his PFL contract. It's going to be
PFL have
stupid
paid
money,
him
isn't it?
a decent
It's
chunk
going
of
to be
cheddar.
stupid money. I think if he's a free agent, you might see him come back. If he's a free agent,
we've lost so many big fights over the years, and arguably 3 of them were going to involve John Jones. You lost Anderson Silva Jones, Francis Ngannou Jones, and then now this one.
well, John Jones didn't want to fight Georges St. Pierre either.
He'd have been too big for Silva. You mean?
Huh?
Silva didn't want to fight GSP.
No, GSP wanted to fight John Jones, didn't they? They were trying to make it happen.
That would have been a horrible match for
as a catchweight fight. Yeah, John Jones. I've said this for a long time now. A lot of John Jones's big wins have come against people that are out of their prime.
Yeah.
When you break down,
he's heavily
his
protected.
career, like when you break down the opponents, when he fought them, the situations, people need. Yeah, he ain't no go when you break that shit down.
He fought a lot of people. You know, the dangerous fighters he sidestepped.
Yeah, Anthony Rumble Johnson.
He is the MMA's version of Floyd Mayweather.
Nah, Floyd fought everyone, man.
Yeah, he fought everyone when he was pretty boy.
Floyd has had his ways of.
No, Floyd had his ways, but Floyd fought everyone.
To be fair with Mayweather, when he was pretty boy, he fought everyone. When he became Money Mayweather, he started.
I'm talking about Jones as like Money Mayweather, not as a pretty boy Floyd.
But even Money Mayweather still fought. I tell you what. If you're going to use the Floyd thing, I'll tell you why it's wrong, guys. Canelo Alvarez to Floyd Mayweather is what Tom Aspinall is to John Jones. Floyd took that fight. Floyd beat him.
I quote, he whooped.
He fought the younger, heavier man and beat him. Floyd could have avoided that fight.
Floyd's different.
True.
Floyd
literally could have said, I'm not fighting Canelo. You know, and people sit there and go, yeah, Canelo's weight drained. Canelo fought at that weight before. He's fought at that weight before.
Even when he was weight, he bloomed up for the fight. So
yeah, like he fought Canelo. Jones isn't fighting Aspinall. So I'm going to ask you both a question. John Jones never fought Anderson Silva, never fought Ngannou, and might not fight Aspinall. Is his legacy going to be tarnished? Because that's the big thing for John Jones. Is his legacy going to be tarnished?
His legacy is already tarnished.
The thing is, if he beats Aspinall, then no.
His legacy stays in stone.
Yeah. If he beats Aspinall, remember what I said about Aspinall. If you like, I don't see Aspinall winning this world title clean for a while if he loses to John Jones. Because John Jones, I don't think retires. I think he goes to fight. He'll fight Cyril Gane in a rematch, or he'll fight. Or he'll fight Pereira after that.
I reckon he drops down to 205 and just go fuck it.
I don't think Jones is going to ever go back to 205.
No.
The older he's getting, the weight he's put on, the older he's getting.
And the 205ers are fucking huge now. And
yeah,
he ain't them. Some of them 205s are so dangerous. Can you imagine him in there with the top 4 UFC light heavyweights? I don't think John beats any of them.
What top 3, 4 UFC light heavyweights? I'll just read them out, Jay. Hey, do you want your top 5?
Yeah.
And you say, do you think he beats Ankalaev?
No.
I think
do you think he beats Alex Pereira?
No.
At 205, are you talking? Or heavyweight?
This is Jones 205 Jones. If he came and dropped him now.
Because I think we got to remember where Jones is in his career and how old he is now.
He looked a lot slower. Sorry to cut you. He looked a lot slower in his last 205 fight as well.
Yeah, I think these guys would.
Do you think he? I think he beat Jan Blachowicz.
I think he beats Blachowicz.
I think he beat Carlos Solberg. I think he beats Ankalaev. I think he beats Yuri Prochazka.
I don't think he beats Yuri
Pereira.
I think Yuri.
Can I ask you guys a question? Let's say Ankalaev and Pereira rematch, and Ankalaev beats him and even more convincing this time. Would you entertain Ankalaev going up to fight John Jones at heavyweight?
For Ankalaev and Pereira are big guys. They could easily do it.
Yeah, but no.
UFC are going to need to freshen up their heavyweight division. The problem is there's no heavyweights out there anyway. So they're going to have to do it within.
There's even none that you can take from other companies. Hey, come over here.
It's like Ankalaev and Pereira. If they're dominating the light heavyweight division and they can put the weight on comfortably to go up. Because the heavyweight division needs just... It's, I don't think it's all UFC's fault. I just think there's not a lot of talent out there right now in the heavyweight division. You know, you're not really getting any from Asia right now in one FC, or well, they don't do heavyweights, I don't think. So
yeah,
you look at PFL, they just some of the deadest fighters I've ever seen in my life at heavyweight. Bellator, no. Where are they? Unless they're all in the amateur scene and coming through, and we don't know them yet. Apart from that, who's that German MMA fighter who looks like Brock Lesnar?
Pavlovich.
Everyone calls him Mini Brock. He doesn't fight in UFC. I don't know where. I think he fights a German MMA organization.
Is he fighting?
He looks a bit like Paddy Plymouth or Brock Lesnar.
Is it Ryzen?
Yeah, I think he might fight in Ryzen. I'm surprised. I'm surprised the UFC ain't picked him up yet.
Good
little fighter.
This heavyweight division man's a mess. It really is a mess.
It's cooked. That's what I've got to
say. But look, at the end of the day, no matter what John Jones is doing, he works for a company, and the company should just go, "You're not.
Yeah,
we got to strip you your title. We've got to keep
Cody Ferguson would say, "Defend or vacate, motherfucker." That's what.
I don't think he will, because I don't think the company's going to put him in position, because he said the TV deal and all these things. Jones is the champion, helps them with everything.
Hey, God, I'm just looking at like the PFL heavyweights. Remember Alexander Romanov?
Yeah,
Jesus.
He's now in PFL, man. Oh,
I'm telling you, Elite XC had a better heavyweight division at one time.
It almost feels as though UFC need to go out and scout fighters wider than just the Contender Series.
Yeah, the Contender Series, though, is just for Dana's own being in it. I do like the Contender Series. Right?
Yeah, same.
But there is a lot of talent out there, but there's not a lot of most like middleweights and that, ain't they? There's not a lot of.
Yeah.
I think we're coming to an age of smaller fighters.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I think we're all coming to an age now where there's a lot of fighters that are like 5'7", 5'10",
highly skilled though, isn't it?
150 to about 185, 190 pounds, and they're all the elite fighters right now.
I don't know how true this is, everywhere. But Danny Gay versus Patricia Pitbull set for UFC 318.
Oh, good fight.
Yeah, that'd be a decent fight.
That's a good fight. Looking forward to that.
Something needs to happen, man. As I said,
yeah.
Need more weight classes.
That as well. Dana, man, just swallow your pride, man. Pause.
Never do it, man.
Such a shame.
You never do it, man.
Boys, we're going to wrap up there. Luke, can you tell the people they can find you and support you and what you got coming up on the channel, my bro?
Yeah, so you can find me on Luke Tanner. I have a preview out tomorrow with the guys here, talking everything about UFC 316.
Super. And Jay, what you got coming up, brother?
I think I've got a show tomorrow on YouTube, and then I've got obviously on my big up Thursday. I've got the Coppish guys.
Come on.
We're a lot of kids.
Let's watch tomorrow.
Am I still in the doghouse with the whole film stuff as well?
The film stuff?
Am I going to have to cook you afterwards?
What happened to the film stuff?
Weren't you in the comments when You're upset. Weren't you upset with me with some of the films I haven't watched?
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh, sorry, I'm still in the.
I've forgiven you already. So
Oh, bless you.
I moved on.
Have you been forgiven for your actions earlier? Or
Yeah. That's all good. Just
okay.
water a cow's dinner.
Oh, the people think you're wild online. Offline, boy. That's where the real fun is. That is where the real fun's at. Oh, boy. And look, people, do smash that like button, as you said, or as the boy said. Luke's going to be live tomorrow. Jamie's going to be live tomorrow on YouTube as well. And then on Thursday, we'll be live as well. And then we've got the big show on Saturday, early hours of Saturday morning, UFC 316. Watch along here on the Sanderson Show.
That is going to be killer, man.
Oh, bro. I'm
tired. I've got
already.
NXT versus Worlds Collide at 8 p.m. I've got Money in the Bank at midnight.
Is Money in the Bank this week?
Yeah. So you got NXT. This is how you do co-promotion, by the way. So in the same city,
Rub it all in one weekend.
in the same city, they got NXT versus Worlds Collide, which is the AAA guys on 8 p.m. Then at 12 p.m. you've got Money in the Bank, and at 3 o'clock you got UFC.
Bloody hell.
TKO Saturdays, man.
I don't think I've watched any wrestling since what was the last pay-per-view?
Backlash.
I don't think I've watched anything since Backlash.
Was it Backlash?
Was that the one with John Cena and Randy Orton as the main event?
Yeah, I haven't watched a lot. I watched Raw last night for the first time.
Oh, yeah. Can I say who's been released?
Weeks.
Can I say who's been released?
Oh,
Yeah.
Is that not spoiling it?
No, I'm livid by one of the names.
Well, R-Truth.
Oh, I'm livid.
We'll talk about the other people that got released as well, because they let go.
It looks like the Miz is getting released as well.
Miz getting released?
Yeah. But yeah, the R-Truth stuff, even the fans took over Raw last night saying like, we want truth. We want truth. He got 20 years with the company. I think Mark Henry on Busted Open Radio said today that if Vince McMahon was still in charge, he wouldn't have gone anywhere. And there's obviously this thing going online that MVP has now started, only that Triple H don't like black wrestlers. And there's a race thing going. MVP hates Triple H. He thinks he's a racist. Do you know they all love Vince? Do you know how crazy this is?
Yeah.
So they all think, like Bobby Lashley and MVP and all that said, Vince McMahon promoted black athletes better than Triple H does. And it's all going off online about it at the moment and stuff like that. And people make a point of it when you look at cards and it's like, all white faces and all that. It's just crazy because it's obviously not the case, because if you want it NXT, I mean, they're all, everyone's like, all the champions, I believe, are black, I believe, and heavily promoted. So
let me get this straight. R-Truth gone. The Miz looks like he's going. Anyone else?
Carlito went.
Carlito?
Yeah.
But he's in Judgment Day.
Yeah. No one's safe, man. Like, with Vince in charge, it's more of a family environment. Now it's more of a business environment, ain't it?
I thought it'd have been the opposite way around, though.
No. This is the thing. Yeah, look, Vince McMahon's a monster. Don't get me wrong here. Yeah, what he did was immoral and wrong and all that. Yeah, he's a monster. Yeah, but when you listen to actual wrestlers who work for him, they love the guy. Sometimes you got to separate. Maybe you have to try and separate the two things, ain't it?
Yeah. Like,
yeah, it's a monster, but I get paid really well working for him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. But yeah, Nick Khan today apparently sold 4 million shares from TKO. 4 million of his shares he sold from TKO, and he's the guy in charge, ain't he? So
yeah,
maybe it's coming back on him. It's weird. It's mental at the moment. It's just they're in a. Crazy. They've lost a lot of good grace. But then I watch NXT and see all the women on there.
Do Just
So
saying,
raucous.
Jay.
So
You
raucous,
messaged me earlier about a suggestion. It seems like you're ready to do it. Just saying. Yeah. Just saying. But no, people, we are going to wrap up there. Please do smash that like button. The links to Jamie's and Luke's channels are in the title and the description, so no excuse not to go and follow the boys and support them as well. People, we've got a fun, packed, busy week, so make sure you're following us across all 3 channels and switching on those notification bells. We've got some good stuff for you this week. People, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. Till we see you again. Thanks everyone for joining and tuning in. See you soon.